Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on? YouTube, you guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. In today's video, we're going to be talking about an article from Reuters titled How a 10-Second Video Clip Sold for $6.6 Million. We're talking about NFTs. I don't know if you guys caught the video I did about NFTs the other day. We just did kind of a quick overview of what NFTs are, and we talked a little bit about some of these marketplaces where you can sell NFTs. NFTs, again, are like digital art, digital cards, video clips, things like that. And they're going for huge money. We talked in a video the other day about how Logan Paul had made like $3 million selling a Pokemon look-alike kind of NFT card of himself. And that made $3 million in about 30 minutes. And I think within 24 hours, 48 hours, it had made $5 million. So this is a quick growing space. It stands to be seen whether this is kind of hype and a bubble or whether this is going to last. Before we really dive into this, I just wanted to throw out a mention about the nano giveaway we're doing on every video. Every video I'm putting out, if you drop a comment and drop either your WeNano username or Nano address, I'm going to send 0.1 Nano out to 5 of you. Initially, I was going to do the first 5 people. It got to be kind of a pain in the butt figuring out who the first 5 commenters were. So I'm just going to send 0.1 Nano to 5 random people. I realize it's not a ton, but you guys get some free Nano for watching a video, something you might otherwise be doing anyways. I realize a lot of these comments are getting caught in spam, so I am kind of whitelisting you guys, so your comments are always going to show up. And I am going through the spam filter, finding your guys' addresses in there as well. Without further ado, let's get into this. And one thing, when I first saw kind of the NFT space blowing up, I thought, oh, well, that seems way too complicated for me to get into. I'm not going to bother. Then I happened to get a video on my YouTube feed where a guy was like, how to make an NFT piece of digital art without any coding. And I was like, well, that sounds interesting and kind of easy. So I wound up going over to Rarible. I wound up spending maybe $200 or $300 uploading pieces of art. Ethereum fees are really high right now. So, I mean, it was costing me like 40, 50, 60 bucks to mint every single piece of art on there. And I think that could wind up being the downfall of NFTs, is how expensive it is to get art up there. And I don't know that I expected things to start selling, but I kind of like a lot of new drop shippers or new e-commerce sellers getting into a space, they kind of tend to think like, all I got to do is set up a store, and if you build it, they will come. I just set this up and people are going to be rushing to give me money for my crappy artwork. And it turns out it's not quite that easy. And obviously, if it was, everybody would just be printing free money. But one of the things I wanted to throw out here, if you are somebody famous, if you're a famous artist, if you're an artist with a following, if you're a celebrity, yeah, you're going to make a shitload off NFTs. I think in one of the videos the other day, I think I talked about how, or maybe it was a video I was watching. I don't know if it's a video I made, but Lindsay Lohan sold a picture of her face for $17,000. The guy who bought it quickly turned it around and sold it for $57,000. Mark Cuban's making a fortune off NFTs. Gary Vee's making a fortune off NFTs. And, we talked about Logan Paul making $5 million in less than 48 hours. But here's the thing, right? Like, Logan Paul makes millions of dollars selling merch as well. And you as a normal everyday person wouldn't be like, oh, well, I can start printing t-shirts with my face on them or some phrase on them, and I can make $1 million too. Well, it doesn't work like that. You don't have a loyal following of several million people who's going to buy a t-shirt just because you put it out. And same thing kind of goes for this NFT artwork. The guy who's mentioned in this story is an artist by the name of Beeple. Well, yeah, Beeple's famous. He has a huge following. He's done work for Coca-Cola and a lot of major companies. So of course people follow his art. People are going to buy his art. But just because you, a normal person, throws up a piece of art on Rarible, it's not like sales are going to flood in. You're going to wind up making all this Ethereum. But let's get on into this article. Again, this one comes to us from Reuters. I always mess this up. Reuters. Yeah, Reuters, not Reuters. How a 10-second video clip sold for $6.6 million. In October 2020, Miami-based art collector Pablo Rodriguez Fraile spent almost $67 on a 10-second video artwork that he could have watched for free online. Last week, he sold it for $6.6 million. So that's quite the come up. In the video I made the other day, which I'll link to, kind of the overview of NFTs and talking about Logan Paul's NFT, in that video, I kind of talked about how I didn't really see a point to NFTs. Like, I would rather have a physical, tangible piece of artwork I can hang on my wall. It's something I'm going to look at every day. When people come over to my house, it's going to be kind of a conversation piece. Oh, that's an interesting piece of art. And it kind of starts a conversation. You got the history of it. Yeah, I suppose there's an element of kind of like bragging rights, same thing with an NFT. But I didn't really understand the point of like digital art. Like, what am I going to put it as my computer background and look at it? Why is this so valuable? But this article kind of mentioned something, and a couple of you guys in that video mentioned something. It was kind of like, we live our lives in a digital space nowadays, so is it really crazy that we would buy digital art? And if you think about it, we used to have DVD collections. Everyone used to have a DVD collection that they were super proud of, right? You either had a big binder full of all your DVD movies, or somewhere in your home you showcased all your DVD movies. Same thing with video games, right? Everybody used to have a CD or a disc for their video games. Now that's all gone online. You download the video game onto your console and you play it that way. Our movies have gone onto Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and we stream them or we keep them digitally. A lot of things in life that used to be tangible have gone digital, and so is it really that crazy for art to go digital? Now, I still can't see myself paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for a JPEG file, especially when I could just screenshot it or, right-click Save As and have that same file. But the blockchain is a way to irrefutably say, I own something, this is the first, this is one of five. And that's one of the things that NFTs and digital art on the blockchain does, is it allows somebody to say definitively, this is an original piece of art, I own it, I have the only one, or I have one of five. So I guess that kind of is a selling point behind these. The video by digital artist Beeple, whose real name is Mike Winkelmann, was authenticated by blockchain, which serves as a digital signature to certify who owns it and that it is the original artwork. It's a new type of digital asset known as non-fungible token, or NFT, that has exploded in popularity during the pandemic as enthusiasts and investors scrambled to spend enormous sums of money on items that exist only online. Blockchain technology allows the items to be publicly authenticated as one of a kind, unlike traditional online objects which can be endlessly reproduced. You can go into the Louvre and take a picture of the Mona Lisa and you can have it there, but it doesn't have any value because it doesn't have provenance or the history of the work, said Rodriguez Fraile, who said he first bought Beeple's piece because of his knowledge of the US-based artist's work. The reality here is that they're very, very valuable because of who is behind it. Non-fungible refers to items that cannot be exchanged on a like-for-like basis, as each one is unique, in contrast to fungible assets like dollars, stocks, or bars of gold. Examples of NFTs range from digital artworks and sports cards to pieces of land in digital environments, or exclusive use of a cryptocurrency wallet name, akin to the scramble for domain names in the early days of the internet. And isn't there a famous story about like pets.com or something like that sold for like $1 billion and like nothing wound up happening with it? The computer-generated video sold by Rodriguez Fraile shows what appears to be a giant Donald Trump collapsed on the ground, his body covered in slogans in an otherwise idyllic setting. OpenSea Marketplace for NFTs said it has seen monthly sales volume grow to 86.3 million so far in February, as of Friday from 8 million in January, citing blockchain data. Monthly sales were at 1.5 million a year ago, so you guys can kind of see how quickly this space is growing. If you spend 10 hours a day on the computer or 8 hours a day in the digital realm, then art in the digital realm makes tons of sense because it is the world, said OpenSea co-founder Alex Atala. Investors caution, however, that while big money is flowing into NFTs, the market could represent a price bubble. Like many new niche investment areas, there is a risk of major losses if the hype dies down, while there could be a prime opportunity for fraudsters in the market where many participants operate under pseudonyms. Nonetheless, auction house Christie's has just launched its first ever sale of digital art, a collage of 5,000 pictures also by Beeple, which exists solely as an NFT. Bids for the work have hit $3 million, with the sale due to close on March 11. We are in very unknown territory. In the first 10 minutes of bidding, we had more than 100 bids from 21 bidders, and we were at $1 million, said Noah Davis, specialist in post-war and contemporary art at Christie's. His division has never seen an online-only sale top 1 million before, he added. In a decision that could help push cryptocurrencies further into the mainstream, the auction house that was founded in 1776 will accept payments in a digital coin Ether, I assume they're referring to Ethereum, as well as traditional money. I think that this moment was inevitable, and whatever institutions of any kind try to resist inevitability, it does not work out very well, Davis said, of accepting crypto payments. And so the best thing you can do is embrace the terrifying. NFTs could be benefiting from the hype around cryptocurrencies and blockchain, as well as virtual reality's potential to create online worlds. The growing interest also coincides with a surge in online retail trading during lockdowns. The start of the rush for NFTs has been linked with the launch of the U.S. National Basketball Association's Top Shot website, which allows users to buy and trade NFTs in the form of video highlights of games. 5 months after it's launched, the platform says it has over 100,000 buyers and nearly 250 million in sales. The majority of sales take place in the site's peer-to-peer marketplace, with the NBA getting a royalty on every sale. The volume is rapidly rising. February has seen sales totaling 198 million as of Friday, heading for a 5-fold increase from January's 44 million, Top Shot said. Each collectible has a unique serial number with guaranteed scarcity and protected ownership, guaranteed by blockchain, the site says. When you own 23 of 49 of a legendary LeBron James dunk, you're the only person in the world who does. The biggest transaction to date was on February 22nd when a user paid $208,000 for a video of LeBron James slam dunk. One major NFT enthusiast who goes by the pseudonym Pranksy, I've actually seen him on Rarible, told Reuters he had invested $600 in an early NFT project in 2017 and now has built up that portfolio worth 7 figures in NFTs and cryptocurrencies. He has to be anonymous to protect his family's privacy. Pranksy said he has now spent more than $1 million on Top Shot and made about $4.7 million by reselling purchases. Reuters was unable to independently verify the figures, although NBA Top Shot confirmed he is among the site's biggest buyers. I see them as investments, really, much like other collectibles and NFTs that currently exist. He said in an interview conducted via Twitter, "I'd never watched a game of basketball before Top Shot launched." And you know, I think I think that's kind of telling right there. Like, you know, I get that a lot of us get into various niches to make money, regardless of whether we truly have an interest in that niche. But you would think the reason these basketball NFTs should be selling is because fans should be buying them, collectors should be buying them, people who are interested should be buying them. And the guy who's kind of the leader in the, you know, basketball clip NFT space had never watched a basketball game in his life and is basically just jumping on this NFT with kind of the greater fool theory that somebody else is going to spend more money on it, but he doesn't actually have an interest in the collectible. You know, I don't think that necessarily means that NFTs are doomed, but I think that is kind of telling right there. Nate Hart, a Nashville-based NFT investor who, like Pranksy, has been involved in the market since it first developed in 2017, has seen some popular digital art NFTs such as Autolifts and CryptoPunk surge in value. Hart said he bought a LeBron James Cosmic NFT on NBA Top Shot for $40,000 in January, then sold it for $125,000 in February. We're in awe. It just doesn't feel real. We're in the right place at the right time, got lucky, but we also took that risk, he said. The space has been growing a lot. I do think that this is a little bit of a bubble. It is a bubble, he said. It's hard to predict what the top will be. Andrew Steinwald, who launched a $6 million NFT investment fund in January, warned that the majority of NFTs could become worthless in the future, but like many backers, he is confident that some items will retain their value and that NFTs represent the future of digital ownership, paving the way for a world in which people live, socialize, and make money in virtual environments. And I think that's kind of sad. I think we need to be doing more living in the real world, but you know, if there's money to be made off this, maybe you can make your money and go spend and enjoy that money in the real world. We're spending a lot of our time digitally, always online, always plugged in. It makes sense to add properties to the mix, and suddenly we have the emergence of the metaverse, he said. I think it's going to reach into the trillions of dollars one day. So it looks like that's the end of the article. I'll link to this article down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. And I wound up exploring Rarible a little bit over the weekend. I haven't checked out this NBA Top Shot NFT marketplace, but I may actually wind up having to check this one out. And if I do, maybe I'll kind of make a video and give you my thoughts on it. That's all I got for you guys in today's video. If you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. And drop a comment with your nano address. And 5 of you guys are going to be getting some free nano as well. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.